Innovation Lead. Welcome to today's episode, where we delve into the world of surgical innovations. Dr. Lankarani, as the Surgical Innovation Lead, can you introduce us to the Vagilangelo registered procedure and its significance in vaginal rejuvenation? Certainly, the Vagilangelo registered procedure is a minimally invasive technique focused on vaginal rejuvenation, emphasizing less downtime and quicker recovery than traditional methods. Although promising, there's a notable absence of long-term clinical data which impacts its current applicability. It's intriguing how it's positioned as minimally invasive. Could you explain how this compares to other techniques like energy-based devices or traditional vaginoplasty? While energy-based devices such as lasers offer non-surgical alternatives by stimulating collagen production, Vagilangelo incorporates surgical suturing, making it less invasive than a full vaginoplasty. However, it's still more invasive than purely non-surgical methods, requiring cautious comparison to establish efficacy. Considering these nuances, where does the procedure stand in terms of peer-reviewed evidence? Can anecdotal success translate to clinical validation? Currently, the reliance on anecdotal testimonials without peer-reviewed studies is a critical limitation. This gap in evidence makes it challenging to objectively validate its efficacy and align patient expectations with clinical outcomes. Moving forward, let's look at how Vagilangelo registered measures up against established procedures. Dr. Lankarani, what are the key differentiators here? One major distinction is that Vagilangelo does not provide the same degree of tightening as traditional vaginoplasty, which is often sought for significant structural correction. Energy-based devices, meanwhile, have garnered more research attention regarding efficacy. You've touched on a critical gap in research. How do these limitations affect its adoption in the clinical setting? Without standardized outcome measures and robust long-term studies, its integration into clinical practice remains limited. The lack of peer-reviewed evidence places it at a disadvantage, especially when energy-based devices with some preliminary data are becoming more popular. Given these insights, what challenges do clinicians face when offering such procedures to informed patients? Clinicians must navigate ethical dilemmas surrounding informed consent, ensuring patients are fully aware of the limitations and lack of scientific validation before opting for Vagilangelo. It's a delicate balance between offering innovation and maintaining transparency. Shifting gears, let's discuss platelet-rich plasma, PRP, and its application in vaginal rejuvenation. How legitimate are the claims about PRP's benefits in this context? Dr. Lankarani. PRP does hold promise in regenerative medicine, aiming to enhance vaginal sensitivity and regeneration. Yet it's critically understudied for this specific application, raising significant questions about its added value without concrete evidence. Can you provide a comparison on how PRP's credibility stands against other techniques? When compared to laser and radiofrequency therapies, which have preliminary efficacy data, PRP lacks substantial clinical trials. This absence leaves its purported benefits largely theoretical and necessitates cautious optimism for its role in vaginal rejuvenation. Looking ahead, what needs to be addressed to strengthen PRP's position within surgical practices? Future pooled studies providing empirical data and standardized assessment metrics are vital to identify PRP's actual efficacy. Such research will not only bolster its clinical credentials, but ultimately support informed decision-making across surgical practices. Finally, let's tackle the ethical framework of cosmetic gynecology. Dr. Lankarani, what are the pressing ethical considerations when marketing the Vagilangelo registered procedure? A key concern revolves around informed consent. The unverified anecdotal claims could mislead patients, necessitating clear communication about the procedure's limitations and unvalidated outcomes. Ethical marketing must emphasize transparency to safeguard patient interests. How can these ethical considerations shape future surgical innovations and their marketing strategies? The industry must evolve by integrating rigorous scientific scrutiny with innovative marketing tactics. Prioritizing ethical standards and evidence-based communication will guide future practices and help mitigate potential patient dissatisfaction or misuse. What role do regulatory bodies have in this evolving landscape? Regulatory bodies must enforce comprehensive guidelines to ensure emerging procedures undergo sufficient scientific evaluation before widespread adoption. Their role is crucial in promoting well-founded, patient-centric practices that recoil from unverified assertions.